Hi everyone, I'm a little late. I apologize. I was having some system issues, but now we are live. Yay! And we're inside of our office in Troy, Michigan. I have myself and Marissa in the office right now, but what we're going to discuss today is venue coordinators versus wedding planners. It's very, very important. To know the difference between a venue coordinator and a wedding planner. I just want to say hi to everyone as they're joining in. And if you like this message, make sure to follow us and share it with some of your friends. I know you guys have some family and friends that are getting married on this coming summer or next year. A lot of people announced engagements over the holiday. So we want you to share this with people, and I want to see some hearts. I love hearts, and they're different. Now that Periscope have all the different color hearts, it looks beautiful to see the rainbow of hearts going up as I talk. So I'm going to wait a couple more seconds until we get a couple more people in here, because I know I'm waiting for a specific person to chime in. I know they were excited about it, and I want to give them the opportunity, but I'm not going to hold you guys long. And I'll share the story on what made me to even decide to do this. Let me flip the camera over. Hi, I'm inside of the office working. And I just decided that I was going to jot down, hi Anita. I just decided that I was going to jot down some tips on why you should hire a wedding planner versus an event coordinator. You should not just depend solely on that event coordinator for your wedding on that day. I'm laughing at Marissa. She's making a funny face over here working on the computer, and I'm not sure what's going on, but it's okay. I'm sure everything is all right and to be handled. But I'm going to give you some quick tips on why you should hire a wedding planner versus just depending on your venue coordinator. The first tip is that they actually just serve the venue. They are not there to be the personal assistants for the bride the day of. They are just there to make sure things are handled and managed for that venue. So say, for example, my bride, I've had this before. I had a bride, she was hungry, she almost passed out. I provided a quick snack for her. Sometimes she needs that lipstick. Those venue coordinators are not going to go in her car or go in her purse and get those private things out for her. So that is something that we do as an event planner. We will do those specific things and those personal things for you as with your wedding. We also build a relationship. While we're in the planning process, we're building a relationship with you to make sure that we are on one accord and we know exactly what's going on the day of your wedding. So we are building a relationship. You get to know us prior to. Another thing that's very important, and I just had someone, and this is why I decided to just go ahead and do a Periscope about it. I had somebody with this problem because they assumed, I like to say Susie. It's not really Susie. They assumed that Susie was going to be the same person that they dealt with at the venue. So when they went to their wedding, Susie was not there. Susie was no longer at that facility, and they just had a fit. However, they hired the venue, not necessarily Susie. But if you have a planner, you will know that day who will be your go-to person. You will know. So we have a team of people, but even if I'm not the planner that day, you know, okay, Marissa's going to be in charge of you that day. They get a chance to meet Marissa and know who she is, so they're not walking around like, okay, who is in charge? That's another reason it's very, very important, because you've had that type of relationship and you've built a relationship with that person. Another reason, these are tips on why you should hire a venue coordinator, not hire and solely depend on the venue coordinator, and should hire a wedding planner. Another thing that we do, we create a detailed timeline and agenda. The venue coordinator knows what time the DJ is going to come and set up, and knows what time your event starts, but they don't know the details. They don't know what time you plan on doing that first dance and some of those important details that's going to occur the day of. They don't know if you're going to do a dress change at 8 o'clock p.m. But as a planner, we know that. We know, okay, I need to go get her. It's 7:59. I need to go get her because at 8 o'clock she wants to change her dress. And we can also assist. I'll have her dress ready so she can do that dress change with no problem. So that is another reason why you should definitely, that is another reason why you should definitely hire a wedding planner and not solely depend on the event coordinator. I love the hearts, the chocolate and pink. That's a good combination actually for wedding colors too. Chocolate and pink. Another thing that we also do is that as a planner and not a venue coordinator, we manage all the vendors the day of. So we know what time all the vendors should come, and we know everything that's going on, and we're there for your best interest. The venue coordinators are there for the interest of that specific venue. So that's another thing that you want to definitely remember. They want to make sure that you don't break a dish, which is great. But we want to make sure that this vendor is there on time. They're executing the things that they're supposed to in a timely manner at the time that was discussed. So that is something that's definitely important. One other thing is that we also have your bridal contact information. Say, for example, someone gets lost, they can contact that bridal party and say, hey, are you okay? And make sure everything is okay. The venue coordinator, they don't have that information. We also, like I mentioned, that we personally assist the brides. We're like great friends with them that day of. And sometimes we actually have great relationships after the event. I actually love running into some of my brides, or going to see, if I run into a bride and I see they're having a baby and they're expecting to grow their family, or if they hire us to do their shower. It's wonderful. It's nothing like it. Let's see here. I wrote down some notes so I could stay on task, because I know I can get off task. But we know those specific songs. The venue coordinator doesn't know what type of songs you're going to have for your wedding, your first dance. They just know, hey, you're going to be in there dancing, and they don't know, for example, a good one. And I was at a wedding, and this actually happened, and the bride wanted Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But as what we do as planners in our office, we find out, okay, you want Somewhere Over the Rainbow by whom? We don't assume, because we notice that it's a lot of songs and it's different titles to the song. So I make sure that the DJ is aware prior to, because we give a timeline prior to the week of, to make sure that they are aware that they want Somewhere Over the Rainbow by this very specific person. A venue coordinator wouldn't know that. They really don't care about that information, because they just want to make sure you're in, those vendors are in, and that you're out by a certain time. Another very important thing that a venue coordinator does, most of them, the lead will leave, the venue coordinator, they will leave that once the dinner is served and the party gets going, they may leave that, they're off for the day, basically. We're there, we're collecting your personal items. We're making, hi from Denver. Hi, Emily. Are you getting married soon? Is anybody on here that's getting married soon? I would love to know that. That would be great to know. Just in April next year. Congratulations to you. So you definitely want to hire a planner. You don't want to depend on your venue coordinator, because another thing that we do is make sure all your personal items are taken care of before we leave at the end of the day. We make sure you know where your shoes and your veil is at. If you take those things off when you're out partying, the venue coordinators, they're not doing all of that. They're just making sure that the venue is handled and taken care of. Let's see here. I'm trying to make sure in my notes that I covered everything. But do I have any questions? Do you guys have any questions? I don't mind giving out any advice that we may have. You have any questions or any dilemmas? If by any chance, I do have every now and then a bride that's a DIY bride and she wants to plan her wedding. It's very stressful, especially if you have a 9-to-5 job. So why not let your planners plan it? Hire a planner, because for us, this is our full-time job. This is all we do. As you see, we're in the office today working, getting some things done so we can make those phone calls. We don't want you to lose your job while you're planning your wedding. So let the professionals do it. To let the professionals call, find out about the vendor prices, find out all the details, schedule those appointments for you so you can enjoy your wedding and you're not stressed out. But if you insist and you say, okay, I want to plan everything and I want to be a part of this wedding planning, you have to hire a coordinator for the day of, a wedding coordinator, not a venue coordinator. Because another thing, if your ceremony is in one spot and your reception is in another spot, hiring planners is yes. It is totally worth the investment. I'm assuming that you hired one because it's definitely worth the investment. Another thing that happened to me, and if I was not the planner and she didn't have if she just totally depended on the venue coordinator, it could have been a wreck. I had a bride, and this is very important to you. You guys, you make sure you drink a lot of water. I had a bride that passed out. She passed out after her ceremony, and she was dehydrated. She had to get rushed to the hospital that was nearby, but I knew this information, so I immediately contacted the venue. I immediately contacted all the vendors, let them know what was going on. I didn't know at this moment, I didn't know she was dehydrated, so I started talking to the vendors, and I said, can we have a redo date? Are you able to do a redo date? Because we have an emergency. She's passed out. Ambulance is on the way. We need a plan B. So I immediately, as the planner, started creating that plan B for her to do a redo date. Everyone was on board with doing a redo date. Make a long story short, she was dehydrated, had to get 5 bags of saline. So make sure you drink. Make sure you have something to drink and to eat the day of your wedding. You can be very anxious, and I don't want that to happen to you. So by the time she got discharged, we had to do some things without her. They had to eat without her. However, she was still able to come and still celebrate her reception. She was exhausted, but we didn't have to do a redo. But if she didn't have a planner that day, the venue coordinator or the venue itself wouldn't have known what was going on. They just would have found out because all the family stayed at the church because they were just in panic because she had passed out after the ceremony, and that's the last thing that they're concerned about. But, you know, me, I had to get it together because I was in shock myself, but I never let them see me sweat. I sweated in the car. So what I did was went there, worked out a plan B, and said, okay, what's the latest we can serve this food? So that's what we did. We waited till the very latest time that we could serve the food because it's different health reasons. You have to serve food by a certain time. And we still went forward with some of the things. And then she notified us as soon as she got out, which was the reception was around the corner. And we went forward with the reception when she got out. Do we have any other questions? I just wanted to chat for a little bit. It's been about 15 or 16 minutes I've had you guys on. I don't mind answering any questions. I want to see some hearts, some more color hearts. What hearts do we have out there? See chocolate hearts, and what other color hearts we have? Okay, so if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to chime off. But I just wanted to say it's very, very important to hire a planner and not depend on your venue coordinator, because they're just there at that specific venue and not for both. So even if you have the church coordinator, that's great, but they don't know what's going on for the reception. If you have a venue coordinator for the reception, they don't know what's going on at the church. But if you hire a planner, they know what's going on for both. So until next time, also check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/It's Your Day LLC. We have a poll on there because on Wednesdays we do Wedding Wednesday and we answer any questions that you may have. So go to our Facebook page and type in some of the questions that you may have, and your question may actually be answered. We're also going to upload these videos to YouTube. Now on Periscope, it's only available for 24 hours, but we're going to upload some great videos on YouTube so you can look at them at a later date as well. All right, that's all. You guys have a great day. Bye.